Hey, welcome to everybody out there that's like in the world that took the time to listen to me tonight, or not even so much took the time, just happened to skip across me and came up to me. Well, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Dwayne Xavier. I'm the host of Chatterbox. This is my first time on screen. It's not something I do all the time. So, just kind of bear with me. This is actually a pre-recording, just something so I can kind of get to see my looks, my style, my everything, my vibe for just being here tonight. But anyway, I have some really amazing show topics that are coming up. My very first show is going to be generational curses. I'm going to that very first show will be generational curses, and I'm going to have two different books, two different authors that have basically one is given a spiritual blah 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 blah. Look at me just blabbing along. I said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to come on here and try to be something that I wasn't. I just wanted to be myself. This is what the real vibe is. The real vibe is my name is Dwayne Xavier, and I'm your host, and this is Chatterbox. Finally, we're here. We have made it to at least sitting at the chatter table, Chatterbox. Anywho, I'm your host, and we have some very amazing show topics that are coming up. Let's see. We got generational curses. We got why do we lie, and we got AI won't wait. That's like a really good one because with everything that's going on right now in society with artificial intelligence and stuff, people they got all kinds of fears and anxieties and everything because they think technology is the devil. You just think about it. Back when I was growing up, I'm from the 60s. By the way, I know I look there, but I'm from the 60s. And in the 60s, we didn't really like, um, we thought of like some cyber just AI and stuff. That was like the Jetsons was about as much as we received. You know what I'm saying? As far as looking at, and I think it was ET. Remember ET? ET extraterrestrial or extraterrestrial or whatever it was. But anyway, that was as close as this like I don't know, this artificial insemination is really interesting, but I have taken a few classes and stuff with on artificial insemination because you know me, I want to be up on everything. I just cannot take somebody's word for how something is. I got to actually experience for myself. So anyway, I did experience a class, and the class was about artificial insemination, and I mean artificial intelligence. I mean insemination. Oh my God, what am I thinking of? Okay, all right. Yeah, the artificial intelligence. That's where we were. Artificial intelligence. They got robots that are coming out now, and I posted a blog on Medium, and I don't know if you guys know who Medium is. If you don't, go ahead and check it out because Medium is a very formative blog, right? And it's the one that people that's normal look at. So just like LinkedIn, my one of my blogs is on LinkedIn. So go in there and look at the blog and get an idea of a lot of the show topics that I'm gonna talk about. I kind of go into like a little detail on each subject, but it's always about my research that I did on the subject, and I kind of can explain everything there because here we only have 30 minutes, and I don't have a lot of time to try to get the information to you. And if I have a guest or we talking from a book or something, you want to be able to stay on point with the time and everything, because when you get into so one thing about chit chatting, talking and stuff and being honest and just like talking from the heart, we have a tendency to lose time. That's what I mean to say. We lose time. So anyway, I want to say thank you first off because everybody out there, it's not a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you and say, I'm up there with the Kim Kardashians and everything, but I will be okay. I'm giving that's to the universe because yeah, I will be. And Anywho, I just wanted to come out, give you guys a little chance of what the studio is about. I got two little chairs back there, and um, as I move along, it's this studio will grow and it will look a lot better and all that kind of stuff. But I just want you to just know that I'm here. Chatterbox is alive. It's going to be amazing. The topics, the depth that I'm just going to try to, compile in such a short amount of time. And then, I would always want to have people who, or some type of book or something in relation to, because I always like to do my research. It's not about, and look, it's not about my opinion. My thing is to bring you on here and you tell me your opinion about what Chatterbox is, or your opinion about how you feel about the subject matter. And if you tell me your opinion, then that way we can agree to disagree, or we can agree, right? But there's no rights and there's no wrongs, because everybody got an opinion to everything. And I've learned that, with my maturity and stuff, is that everybody want to hear what you gotta say as much as they want to hear what I gotta say. You see what I'm saying? But I'm your host. Don't forget that. What else are we gonna talk about? Okay, so where I'm at right now in my life. Okay, because I know a lot of people out there asking me. I'm happy. That's where I'm at right now. I'm free. I'm free because God has blessed me. That's all I want to say. And then moving on. Yeah, as we go along, I'm not even sure what direction the show is going to be going into right now. I know what direction, and the concept is actually have been coming along, to be honest with you, as we go, we record right now, as we do what we do. Okay. The shows are going to they're going to be about current situations that take place, because a lot of times the current situations are what we are talking about. So I don't know what's going to happen between now and the next event, but I do know that the conversations and stuff that we come up to, a lot of times show topics might be pushed aside or something based on the importance of those particular show topics and why I need to be speaking about them. You know what I'm saying? And why people need to hear what you got to say is one of the things as well. But yeah, we're gonna have Vance Mack. He's gonna be coming on the show, and he's a guest. He's gonna be here. He'll be able to elaborate on his opinion about generational curses and stuff, And then we have two different books by two different authors. One is Mark Rowland. He is an author that wrote from a psychological standpoint of generational curses and all that, and what that's about. And last but least, we reviewed the book of um sorry we reviewed the book of, I'm sorry, my glasses I have on are not even free. David O. Christian. Yeah, we read the book of David O. Christian, and he's he's given his generational curse from a Christian point of view, which is really good and stuff. But I believe that you can. Well, we'll go into that later and stuff. But anywho, back to the show. We have all these different types of show topics that are coming up, and then one of the main show topics that we're going to be coming up with is why do people lie. That's something that we're going to be doing the week after the first. I think it's the 6th or the 8th. There's always the next Saturday, the Saturday before 6 p.m. Yeah, I want to give a special thanks out to my staff. My staff, Steven, and my staff, Stephanie. Steven is a co-host and stuff. I don't know what's going on right now. I'm trying to see if I can bring. There they are, Steven and Stephanie. Hey, Steven is my co-host, and then Stephanie, she's the one that handles all the stuff behind the scenes and stuff. She's our wizard, and we just love them. She's the production assistant, and she helps me put everything together and to be able to bring this show to you like I'm bringing it to you. I just put it to you that way. But anywho, um, I just want to say that fall is coming. Oh, it's a time where we going. Excuse me. That's my iced tea because since I've been living in Atlanta, or since I had lived in Atlanta, I no longer live there anymore, but I got hooked on that sugar tea. That sugar tea because it's dangerous. I make my own, so it's low in sugar, but still. Anywho, yeah, I just wanted to say that everything is good. Everything is good. I'm trying to remember what point we was on, what we was talking about, because this is like a free fall freestyle kind of video right here, just streaming to you live. It's not live, but it's pre-recorded tape, but it was taped for you. That I plan on chopping it up. Like I'm gonna do a lot of them and use them for marketing and kind of have you guys depict or know the type of show that it's gonna be and just the whole 9 yards, everything. Let me see. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, so I just want to say thank you for subscribing. If you know somebody that this show is going to help, and when I say help, I know you haven't really seen the show, so you kind of don't have an idea of what the show is going to be about, right? Or a lot of people want to know what the show is, get the foundation of the show. I think the show itself is going to be my personality, y'all. Come on now. But aside from that, no, it's going to be the topics in the discussion. I think I'm mature enough. Look, I am 59 years old. So I look good, okay? I don't care. I've lived a crazy life. And when I say crazy, blessed. But I've done a lot of things that a lot of people wish they could do, or wish they were in a position that I wasn't to do. And it's all because of the one that protected me and kept me the whole time. When this comes live, you'll have the opportunity to comment. You'll be able to, the comment section will be up here and you'll be able to type in and tell me what you think chitty chat about from your past, your opinion, da 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 da. But don't be rude. Because if you're rude, I will just pick you out of the box. You don't need me to take you out the box. You know what I'm saying? Because conversation is conversation. Let's see. How y'all like this shirt right here? This shirt is giving what? I don't know. Like stripes. I kind of like it a little bit, you know. Let me see what else I want to discuss. Oh, I was telling you about the holiday season. You know, my mother's brother, my uncle, he passed a few days ago. And when people pass, after they live a certain age, I'm kind of glorified to a certain degree. It's a celebration for me because I realize they lived their time and it's time for them just to shoot on all out. You know what I mean? And what becomes new becomes old, and what becomes old pass on. What's this a saying that we used to say? I never said it, but I heard it. Don't tell me you never heard it. Um, yeah. But the holiday season is coming. It's a time where I get to spend with my mom, and I'm going back to her brother passing away and everything. It's my mom. I was talking to her on the phone, and she said, "I'm next," and I was like, "What do you mean you next?" I don't think that we should ever predict or say something or like speak from our mouths. Let's just say I feel like that what you said in your mouth is very powerful and stuff. And you know, sometimes you can have strong faith in something and all your life live that faith. But when you get down to the nitty gritty of pain, agony, and suffering because you aging and stuff, sometimes it gives you a whole different perception on it makes you reevaluate your thinking when it comes to your opinion about how you should respond when it comes to your spirituality and stuff like that. Yeah, but we just all hope that we don't suffer. And I feel like my mom's suffering and stuff because she's older, you know, And if she gets to that point where it's though she feels like she can go, I want her just to go and knowing that I loved her so much and I gave her so much love. And I felt real good because I was the type of person where I was support my mom. The Bible says you gotta honor your mom, you gotta honor your dad no matter what. That's what the words say. And people say, "Oh, you political." Da, 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 this it ain't got nothing to do with political. What it has to do with respect and love. And I'm living proof that when you do what you're supposed to do by your parents, the blessings flow. They flow. You know, God is amazing, extremely amazing. And He's the author of my life. And that's why I'm who I am, what I am, whether anybody like it or not. Was I supposed to say that? Should I cut this? Because I was like, I don't know if I should have said that. Anywho, yeah, why not? Let you to really get to know who I am. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. I'm opinionated, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I got a lot to say. And you give it to me and I'm gonna give right back to you in the right way. In the right way. I'm going to listen and learn from you. It's like you listen and you learn from me. Hopefully you'll learn from me. But if you don't, it's cool too. You know what I'm saying? You just might be one of the ones that's just looking in on this show for whatever your reasons are. And then, and so I'm feeling a little punched. God, that was good. Tea. Now, some of the nights that I'm doing my shows, I might have me a little glass of wine. Do y'all mind if I have a glass of wine? Because I don't drink. I'm not a big drinker. I don't like drink no regular basis. I know alcohol. Probably be a long time. Anytime I go out, I might have my drink of choice sometimes, just to put it out there, is uh Tito's vodka with cranberry, a splash of cranberry and a splash of orange juice with the lime twist with club soda. Yeah. So Tito's with club soda and a splash of orange juice or a splash of cranberry with a lime twist. Yeah, that right there, I don't have a hangover when the next day comes if I have one. But I remember back in the day we could drink, Cheryl. We would go out to this club. I don't know a lot of y'all if y'all remember. It was in Baltimore because I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. Hey, let's shout out to Baltimore. Let's shout out to Garrison Junior High School. Let's shout out to Liberty Elementary School. Let's give a shout out to Walbrook High School. Okay, those were my three schools of choice my parents' choice when I lived in Baltimore. And yeah, I grew up around nature. When I say nature, like the trees. We used to go out there and find little snails and put them on rocks and put salt on them. Or we used to take chalk and draw the little hopscotch thing on the ground or build go-karts. How many of you guys built go-karts out there? Yay, me, I did. Well, yeah, we built go-karts. We did all kinds of things that pretty much was crazy as your kids do. But we did some really good things that kind of um, things that kind of led us into a whole different direction of life. These kids growing up now, they so involved or being influenced by so many different things. Nobody is really taking the time to, I don't know, look after them the way they're supposed to be looking after. I mean, we already took the belt and stuff away from them. So a lot of the times we just kind of like letting the kids fend for themselves, and with the kids fending for themselves, whatever way they come home, they come home. But when we was growing up, you ain't just come home no any kind of way. You came home at the right hour. You came home, you did your chores in your house. And if you did your chores when you got home, you got to go outside and sit on the steps if it wasn't dark. But if it got dark before you finished, you wasn't able to go outside. So sometimes in the wintertime, you go to school. I never got to go outside because I always was in the house take care of responsibilities. But I realized that my mom, she did that for a reason because now we're responsible. Some of these kids that growing up now, they have these negative impulses and they're doing things like killing each other and stuff, but it's based on how they raised and what they're shown. You know, you didn't get to stay up and look at TV, all the guns and shooting and the whores and all of this kind of stuff, doing the shaking and stuff. We turned that off. My dad and my mom turned that shit off. Sorry, but that's just how I felt about it strongly, you know, because it's like it's time that the males, we start to care about our kids. You know what I mean? Whereas though we make them grow up to be leaders and leader not by uh their dislikes and likes as far as their sexuality is concerned. I'm talking about by their brain and how they think. You know what I'm saying? They have a conscience. They realize that, you know, a real man is doing something to always better himself to build a legend or a heirloom in the family business. You know what I'm saying? Okay. 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 Something I'm doing. Okay. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, I'm so happy that I'm in New York City. I love New York. New York is life. There's so much life here. And what I mean when I say life is like people, they are always doing something, always staying busy. You know, you got to find your niche. If you got a niche in New York, it's going to be good for you. You know what I'm saying? Because when you in states like California or Atlanta, Atlanta is a little faster than California. I mean, obvious choices, but yeah, it is. But California is laid back. When you in California, only way you gonna make it really is if you already established. That's how California, that's how LA is. Man, I lived there for probably over 15 years. I left Baltimore in 1986, and I was in California way up to probably 2015 before I end up going to, I mean, not 2015, I'm sorry. I was in, I left LA in like 2010 to go to Atlanta. It's from 2010. Anyway, you did math, but who cares? Who really cares, right? All I'm just saying is I'm really an East Coaster and I know how to live on the West Coast, so that's all that matters. I've learned to play both fields, and that just puts me a little more step ahead of most people, okay? Yeah, that too. That too. That too. Bye. Girl, bye. No, I just those the things that you see people be doing and stuff. We pick up, you know, and we just be doing it just to do something or say something. But what's new, what's current is always what's important. I think, you know, we got enough stuff that we dealing with, you know. And back to like talking about the robots and stuff. Do you know they're gonna be making out coffee, folding out clothes, doing out chores? Yeah, they're gonna be doing all that and some. And that's something to think about. That's like crazy. I'm not gonna have no robot. In a minute, we're gonna have them wiping our asses. You know, it's not gonna. It's gonna do the job of a day it's supposed to do. That part. No, I'm just joking, but it's just like they got a robot to do everything. And but I just want to tell you, the AI is so important. If you don't know anything about AI, I need you to really step out and get to know AI. Get to know it. Like honestly, go out. get among some friends and learn it like a game. You know, you kind of like you take one platform because AI is basically about platforms. They're different platforms, and each platforms they do different things for you, like essays, this like images, marketing, research, and all this kind of stuff. And you have to be able to know how to work the prompts, put the prompts inside the application and the prompts after you put the prompts, which is only the wording, and a lot of them is just natural logical wording. If your vocabulary is large, then based on the principle that you are typing it to go into, you're just going to know the words for it, how to develop it. And yeah, and it's a good platform. It does some really amazing things. But it looks like my time is almost up. Oh my God, you know what I'm saying? My time is almost up. Again, I want to give a shout out to my peoples, all of you that's out there. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you tuning in to look at this. This is just a promo. I don't even know when I'm gonna air it. You know what I'm saying? Because I just have it just as my collection. But it's my first time that I talk for almost it's 26.32 minutes or something like that that I spoke to you tonight. And I felt comfortable. I felt like we got to know each other, honestly. You as an audience, you see what I'm saying? And then this is being developed on my iPad, you know, my computer and mic right here. This is the Netty mic and stuff right here. And this is my computer that like keep going on and off. You see that? Yeah, but that's where I'm gonna be doing all my you see. It's gonna be cool, it's gonna be nice. We're gonna have some turn down the lights moment where we're gonna be able to be calm and just really click into some conversations, some serious adult conversation. Ain't gonna be no kids up in there. You know what I'm saying? It's no place for kids. This is only a place for adults because we're gonna be on talking about all kinds of subjects. Like when you think your man is stepping out on you, or if you think your man is gay. Yeah, that's a really good one right there. Yeah, some of these down lowers, they're not gonna like that topic because they don't like the fact that we're talking about them. But they need to come out and be real. You know, it's all about protecting the women. That's what it's about. About religion. What's the difference between religion and spirituality? I'm a spiritual person, I'll tell you myself. And when I say I'm spiritual, what I mean is I love the Lord more than anything in the world. And but I don't believe in religion. Religion is doctrine, it's organized, and yeah, I don't mess with that. So if you and plus it separates people. God ain't about separating nobody. I believe in one God, one love. He loves all of us equally. So anybody that's out there being biased because he black, he white, he this, he that, he that, he that, God ain't got nothing to do with your notions. Let's get it right. Um, yeah, my time is clicking down like fast now. You know, I'm trying to like say what I had to say for you guys. But yeah, life at 59 has been amazing. And I'm glad that I'm going to be having a platform to share with you. And I'm glad you're going to share your story with me too. That part, you know. By the way, I created this for you. For me too. Because I think it's therapy to kind of talk about stuff, don't you? Real therapy. Conversation, real raw. Yeah. And honest. You know, one thing I think it's about is honesty. I looked a long time ago, say what you on your mind. Say it. Say it. Say it. Because it'll set you free. And it's just your opinion. That's all it is your opinion. I'm over time. Thank you for joining Chatterbox.